So this is very interesting. I don't know what to make of this, but you know, it is very alarming. Hey guys, it's Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content. And let's get straight into this mess that is going on with Dan Wootton right now. That behind the scenes, what is going on between GB News seems to be quite intense, allegedly, and they are throwing tantrums and turning on each other quite fast. A gossip forum called Pop Bitch, which has been discussing everything in relation to Dan Wootton for quite a while, and they've been accurate with quite a few of the things that they have been saying, have basically come out with a new update, which is wild. They've said there's an awful lot of backstabbing and behind the scenes briefing going on at GB News at the minute. But can it really be true, what we're hearing? That Dan Wootton has quietly reached out to try and establish a rapprochement with Phillip Schofield. So this is basically what seems to be an update. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised by this taking place, given the fact that we know that there is already a relationship between Phillip Schofield and Dan Wootton. If we look at the facts, there's already a relationship between Phillip Schofield and Dan Wootton. That is already there, because evidently when he was going to come out and etc., Dan obviously spoke to him via The Sun, supported him publicly. They've been friends and also have been amicable for a very long time until he turned on Phillip Schofield quite quickly. We know that this is what Dan likes to do. Whether we agree or like or dislike Katie Hopkins, she said the same thing. And then, you know, Dan did the same thing to Lawrence Fox. Like, he just turns on people when it gets to that point because he wants to discard anybody and be at number one.
And completely threw Lawrence under the bus in order to self-preserve. That's Dan Wootton all over. I've known it for 2 decades. I always thought and knew he was a C-U-N-T that did certain things for people in order to retain favour.
So it would make sense that he would do anything to try and find some kind of source of money, peace, work, progression in some kind of way, and therefore would try and go back to Phillip Schofield, contact him, ask for his help, because Lawrence Fox did say in an interview that he is in contact with Dan Wootton and still advising and helping him. Therefore, Dan is wanting to receive that. So it's not far-fetched for me to believe that he will be in any kind of contact with Phillip Schofield or try to be behind the scenes to try not only apologize and grovel, but then also try and use his media tactics or connections or whatever he has to try and do something to get back as to where he needs to be, is basically what he might be doing. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by any length that Dan Wootton would go to try and salvage what he's lost, considering the allegations against him, which have been significantly awful, and also considering how he's moved by throwing so many people under the bus, you know, since everything's been taking place. So I really would not be surprised by this, you guys, in any capacity. I would not be surprised at all that he'll be speaking to Phillip Schofield. Whether Phillip is responsive or not, who knows, who cares? But, you know, the reports out there are that Dan is absolutely panicking, guys. He's lost nearly 900,000 as an annual salary in a week. He's lost that money. He's lost the $250,000 from Daily Mail, who have terminated him. And bylines are reporting that, you know, GB News are set to sack him very soon. So losing 900k as a salary, but you just bought a house for 1.2 million. How are you paying that mortgage? You know, if you're already paying these lawyers, so many of these lawyers allegedly to throw out these letters to scare people and etc. and tactics. If you are, these lawyers don't really care about you. You've commissioned them, therefore they're working for you. But until you don't have that money anymore and lawyers are very expensive, then they're just going to move on to the next case. So he's definitely not in a good position right now. We'll see what happens. He's probably groveling at GB News to try and get his job back. And that can be very much possible, but we'll only see when time will tell, because they obviously confirmed that an investigation with him is still pending. But this will be a good time for them to kick him out, considering the allegations that he had beforehand. So we'll see, because 9,000 Ofcom complaints regarding Dan Wootton as well in that segment is not a good look. So for then him to return with those Ofcom complaints, they probably wouldn't want that. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe it? Do you not? Time will tell. I wouldn't be surprised by it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised by it. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button for daily and consistent content. I would really appreciate it. It's just one click to the channel for 24/7 free long form content. Subscribe and I'll catch you guys soon.